Hello everyone, this is John from PhoneDog.com, and today I'm taking a look at what you can do with a rooted G1. For those who aren't sure about what that means exactly, the G1 is like other personal computers in that it has accounts for regular users and accounts for administrators. Under a Linux system, the administrator or super user has privileges to access the root directory, whereas regular users do not. So that's where the term rooting comes from. Having root access on a G1 allows you to do all sorts of things that you couldn't do straight out of the box, including some that could severely jack up your phone, and it voids your warranty. So, what you do with your phone is your business. I'm not recommending anyone do this, especially since Cupcake will fix at least some of the issues that cause people to start hacking Android in the first place. But I was curious about it, and according to a poll we ran at PhoneDog, you all are curious as well. So let's get to it.
Alright, I want to say right off the bat here that this is not a tutorial. I'm not going to be doing any tutorials about anything you can do with a rooted G1. I'm simply showing you what you can do, and you can decide if you want to pursue it from there. My reason for not doing any kind of tutorials is primarily because I don't want to have the responsibility of technical support, and secondly, there are plenty of people out there who know a lot more about this than I do, and they already have tutorials posted all over the place. Primarily xda-developers.com. That's the best place I've found yet. And I'm using the JF version 1.4 hack, and that one comes complete with an updater. I have not seen an update yet, but it would be really nice if it could upgrade me to Cupcake release without having to redo the entire hack. I'd just like to mention, even though I'm not going to get into it today, a program called Root Booter, which is an app that makes hacking more simple, because when you are modifying your bootloader and your operating system, you have to go through a series of steps using different button combinations, pressing 3 buttons at once and trying to remember which one goes for which type of hack you're working on. So this app is just a quick way to do a normal reboot, recovery reboot, or a bootloader reboot. So I'll be using this when I do a video about making a complete backup of my phone. But for now, let's just move on. Okay, so first off, I'm just going to show you the most noticeable differences for a root user during basic daily use. This is just the standard Android web browser. And once the page is completely loaded, I can zoom with multi-touch. Okay, and now that I have an application running, let's say that I have too many apps running at once, and I don't want Android to manage which apps should be closed. I want to manage them myself. I use the Advanced Task Manager, where I can go in and select the browser and end the task. I don't know why Android didn't have this feature from the start, but I'm glad to have it now. I use it all the time. Another memory-related app is called Swapper, and SwapSpace is basically an extension of your RAM, usually on a hard drive. So when your RAM gets all used up, your computer or your phone gets bogged down, unless you have swap space available. So Swapper allows you to adjust the size of the swap space you want to use, and I'll show you what I'm using here. I'm not even using any swap right now because I have so few applications running. Now, I actually haven't seen a whole lot of benefit from this app, but I think it's because Android does still manage my applications, and it knows to start closing them when I reach a certain memory limit. I'm not sure how to disable that, and I think that's pretty much required for swap control to be of benefit to you. But you can go in here and change where the swap file is located on your SD card. I don't know if you can make out this button here, but there's the location that's functional with the JF mod, which is what I'm using. So here you have a slider. I told it to get the swap going, so it's doing that real quick. Maybe real quick is the wrong choice of words. Okay, so while that's working, I'm going to go ahead and move on here. I'm not sure if I'm going to edit it out or not, but when I first went into the swap program, I got a notification that I was low on disk space. Now, one thing that you can do with a rooted G1 is install applications directly to the SD card. I'm not going to do that here. I might make a video about that later on. You do need to repartition your SD card to do that. You have the regular FAT32 space, but you also need an ext2 partition for the apps to reside in. That's easy enough to do. I would only have to copy the contents of my SD card over to a computer, create the partitions, and then recopy all of the contents back to the FAT32 partition. So probably will get around to doing that. And one very simple feature that has made a lot of bloggers happy is the ability to create a screen cap. So we're going to do a time delay. Let's do 20 seconds. Gives me a chance to get everything in order here. So let's do that. Hit my screenshot button. It's going to wait 20 seconds for me now. I'm going to go back to the market. I want to show a list of my downloads. Let's hope they load before the screenshot takes place. Screen captured. So now, if I go look on my SD card, go to DCIM, screenshot, and you'll see a list of my screenshots there. And there you go. That's just an image of the marketplace of my downloaded apps there. So that might not be of much practical use to most of you, but if you create themes for a home replacement, or maybe you just want to share with your buddies something you've done on your phone, this is kind of a nice feature. Now for you hardcore hackers out there, there are several overclocking applications available for rooted G1s, and I'm not going to get into this. I will not be doing a video on this because it is risky. You can cause damage to your phone, but you can set maximum and minimum clock frequencies for your processor. So there you can see some of the other applications I have installed strictly for rooted G1s. There's a terminal, telnet, a latitude enabler for the countries where Google has disabled it. There's a Bluetooth tethering app. You can also tether via USB and I think even Wi-Fi, although I'm not sure an app has been created specifically for that. There are lots of other things you can do with a rooted G1, some of which I will get to, some of which I won't. Another one for the major hackers out there, having a rooted G1 allows you to install a build of Debian Linux. You could even share folders on the network with your other computers, but I don't think I'll be getting into that one. So I'll try to get to the video about an entire backup over the next week or so, and then maybe get into playing around with cupcake builds. I've probably missed a few things here. Feel free to speak up in the comments and let me know. There are some things that I'm just planning on doing a dedicated video for. So have fun, but be careful with your phones.
Alright, thanks for watching everybody. Stay tuned to phonedog.com. I'm going to be doing some more in-depth videos about the modding you can do on a rooted G1. Also, don't forget to play the OnePod Bandit. We're still giving phones away. Take care.